All right, why do I see a bus?
No, it's 2:49. It's not time yet. Yeah, sorry, you're a bus. All right, so let's go. So, hello, this is of ADHD and Other Things. I am your host, Jayada, and today my guest is my friend and neighbor, Dr. Kiran Khandke. Did I say that right? All right.
As good as it can get.
Khandke.
Khandke, yes.
Dr. Kiran Khandke was born in India. Following completion of his PhD at the Indian Institute of Science in Protein Biochemistry, he moved to the USA for a postdoctoral fellowship to the Rockefeller University. He then worked at Lederle Lab, Wyeth Pfizer. The main focus of his research was in the oncology field, developing monoclonal antibody conjugates as a key modality for several forms of cancer. He has several patents and publications in his field of research. He retired from Pfizer after a 25-year career. He now enjoys golf, teaching, yoga, gardening, and landscaping, and traveling. Welcome. And scuba diving. So, Kiran, thank you for joining me. And
welcome.
So I have been looking forward to talking to you for quite a while. And I have to say, this is a very interesting setup here. I'm in my kitchen, and Kiran is in my living room as I try to get my bearings here with podcasting. So, Kiran, we are here to talk about meditation, and specifically demystifying meditation. And this is a topic that keeps coming up in my life because I learned how to meditate, and I've been meditating for 3 years, and I'm still learning as I go, but it's something that has become a daily practice in my life. And when I tell people that I now meditate, those who don't will say, wow, I tried, I can't. And, I hear all those things over and over again. And so, and people ask me, well, how do you do it? How do you get into it? Because I've tried and I failed. And I can tell you that I tried and I failed many, many, many times before I finally got the hang of it. And it was, I think, a combination of just the right time. There was something in the air, and it clicked for me. But it doesn't have to be that mysterious, because there's other ways to learn how to meditate. So, Kiran, how do you come to meditation? Tell me your background.
My experiences have been very similar to yours. I mean, it's something that does not come automatically. It has to be also, customized to individuals. So each one has a different way, and each one figures out their own way. But one thing meditation is not. It is not a very active process. You're not controlling your thoughts. You're not trying to suppress your thoughts. You're not, the more effort you put into meditation, it will actually work against you. And I won't say it's a passive process. It's neither a passive process also. It's just observation. And most important part of meditation, it is that you have to remain in the present. Not drift off into the past, which has, many times problems, for people. And then you have, when you go into the future, then you have the anxiety of what's going to happen and all that. So in order to calm your mind, you have to be in the present. And how you be in the present is through meditation. And the best way to start meditation is focusing on your breathing, because, and then there is a very simple reason that focusing on breathing will bring you into the present. And that is that you are taking a breath every 5 seconds or so, 5, 6 seconds. So, you cannot drift away from those 5, 6 seconds because as long as you're focusing on breathing. And first thing you do is you kind of focus on the air that is coming in and out. The that coolness that comes, and that way you will be in the present. Now, the next thing is to observe your thoughts without interacting with them. And it's a very subtle thing. What happens is many times, you get cyclic thoughts. The same thoughts you like kind of recycle, and you look at them in different ways. You process them. Maybe I should have said that this or whatever. So don't do that part. But observe the thoughts that you have got, and acknowledge that, okay, I'm getting these thoughts too frequently for my liking, but don't nurture it. Don't interact with it, because if you interact with your thoughts, then you are giving fertilizer to the weed. That weed is going to grow. Yeah.
Yes. I have to say that learning how to meditate helped me learn, understand what my rumination looked like and how to identify when it's happening sooner so that I can stop it sooner. And that's been a big key to my, just how I've evolved. But let me ask you something. Let's just go back. How long have you been meditating? Because I've only been doing it for 3 years.
I was not very serious for many decades, but I did try it because my grandmother used to meditate, and my mother did a little bit, not too much, but she did whenever it's necessary. See, it's like praying. People pray when they need help. It should not be like that. It should be because you know it's good for you, and it's going to make a progress. So that's the same way. You meditate on a regular basis. So whether you are in good mood or bad or whatever is happening in your life, so that's the way. So as I've gotten older, I've been meditating more. Yeah. Well, partly because I have more time now, but also because I realize the importance of meditation. So it's both.
Do you have to be retired?
No. 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 I mean, that would defeat the purpose. No, I'll tell you. No, I actually, meditation is good when you're really busy, because it frees up time for you. So let me go to the root cause of why we think that we don't have enough time. Everybody is like searching for time. Extra time. They take it from their sleep. They take it from all things. They take it from their family.
They take it from the dishes.
Oh, everything. Yeah.
Take it from the cleaning.
Yes. But meditation allows you to shut off programs. We talked about that. We talked about shutting the apps that you're not using. so it's like a computer. Let's cover this topic because we just brought it up.
It's like having Kiran and I were on a walk the other day, and we were talking about this very thing about having too many thoughts in our minds, and he said, well, you just got to turn off some apps. Just like, and I thought, well,
it's easier on your iPad or iPhone or computer. Yeah,
it runs faster. And I walked away with that in that quote, and I was thinking about that later that night when I had 100 apps open.
Yes.
I was not 100, literally, but there was a lot of things going on in my head, and I was like, okay, I heard your voice in my head. Turn the apps off. I started doing that, and it actually went and meditated, and it really helped to center me.
So we are a very powerful computer, but at the same time there is limitations, and like before you know it, you check your computer, your iPhone or whatever smartphone, you will have like 20 apps open and you don't even know when you open them, and it's like I clear myself every day. So what that happens to your mind also,
Yes.
your this computer slows down, when
That's
there are a
right.
lot of apps open. So the
And
meditation will help you identify which apps are not being used and shut them off. Yeah,
right, and
yeah,
shut them off. And that could be just, the phone call that you have to make, the email
yeah,
that you have
yeah.
to read,
Right,
the mail that you have to
right.
go through, all those little things that just linger in the
Yes,
background that you have to get
yeah,
to, um,
yeah,
on top of
yeah.
everything else. And they are the things that sort of take away little
Yes.
by little
And
from your
and
present.
all these things you mentioned are things for the future, like, oh, what you have to do. But then there are a lot of apps that are in the past, like
That's correct. Old apps that we just
you are
left
just
open.
like carrying baggage,
That's right.
and that baggage is making draining your computer power,
That's right.
and your batteries, as well as your computing power, both.
So, Kieran, so we talked about what is meditation,
Yes.
right? And it's basically sort of slowing down and clearing not all of your thoughts, but just slowing them down long enough for you to sort of become aware of
Yeah.
them. Um, and that is the goal, I think, for many people when they meditate. But a lot of people talk about how they can't stop those thoughts, or they have a vision they have an idea of what it is to meditate, and they think that that image doesn't apply to them. A lot of people may think of the person sitting cross-legged, in a lotus, and they have like a very gentle smile, and they think, well, this is not me. This is not for me. I don't identify with this at all.
So that is not
But
meditation. Yeah.
no, that is
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
right? So we were talking about how breath
Yeah.
is key. That the first thing, if you want to learn how to meditate, the first thing that you have to go to is your
Yes.
breath. And there are so many different breath um, uh,
Yes.
techniques that you
Yeah.
can do
Yeah.
that help bring you to a more
So
present
yeah.
state.
Yeah.
And once you get to that place, it becomes becomes easier to sort of transition yourself into that place where you want to be, where
Yeah.
your mind isn't just racing, or that you're able to control it and that you're not always reacting to that stuff. So I was hoping you could talk to me about breath work and what does your knowledge
So
come from, and
yeah.
how would you introduce breath work and the importance of it to somebody who, let's say, is new and comes to you and says, Kiran, teach me.
Well, breath is the most important part in meditation, and in life in general. Because you think about it, right? What are the important absolute necessities in your life? Most people will not include breath, but actually that is. People will say, oh, food, water, clothing, shelter.
My children, as my children like to say, what do you mean? You're telling I'm breathing.
Yeah.
I am breathing every second of my life. What do you mean I need to breathe?
But don't take it for granted.
Go beyond that.
No, and also, breathing, if you do it right, will not only energize you with extra oxygen, but it will also clarify your mind. It will calm you down, and you will be able to fight these impulses, these uncontrolled thoughts. And breathing is really everything. It starts with breathing, proper breathing.
Can you guide us through
Sure.
something that
Okay.
will help us?
But the preferred breathing technique for meditation, which I also teach in my yoga class. I have many different breathing techniques. Of course, it's a 1.5 hour class. But before meditation, I teach this called Anulom Vilom. Okay, this is
Anulum?
Anulom Vilom. Okay, Anulom Vilom. It's a Sanskrit word. So it's popularly known as one nostril breathing. One nostril. So let me just do a little demonstration. So you block one nostril with your thumb, and the other nostril with, 3 fingers. Okay, so you're alternating like this. Okay, so you take an inhalation first. Okay, and you can keep a rough count in your mind. Okay, so no, let me also tell you a little more. uh, so the exhalation has to be a little longer than the inhalation. So let's say we do 6 seconds of inhalation, and then let's say about 9 seconds or so of exhalation. Okay, so let's do that. You cover one nostril and take an inhalation. Okay, now in exhalation, you switch nostril. Okay, so now I'm exhaling. Now you inhale through the same nostril. Okay, and then switch.
And
Okay,
it's okay if you have to get tissue.
and you can increase as you get better in the breathing. You can increase the time. You can make it 10 seconds and 16 seconds. You can go, and if you're very very calm, you will need only like one breath a minute. I have done many times where I've taken in for 25 seconds and exhaled for 35 seconds. So
That's
yeah,
I've only gotten so far as 10.
yeah, but, with a little practice, because what happens is when your brain is very calm, your oxygen consumption decreases, and then one breath will sustain you for a much longer. But that is much later. So let us practice with a total of let's say 6 seconds and 10 seconds. That's a good starting point.
Okay. So inhale to 6.
Yeah.
And exhale to
10, 9, 10.
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have accurate. It doesn't. Yeah. What is important is the exhalation is a little longer than the inhalation.
And do I have to hold?
No. Some people do hold, but I don't. And the way I have been taught, you don't hold. It is free flowing.
It is free flowing, and so it brings more oxygen up to your brain, allowing you to take fewer breaths per minute. I suppose that's what deep divers
something
to learn
like that.
how to do. You got to learn how to hold it for a long time. So they're probably experts at this trick, and it does something to you, right?
Yeah.
When you're
it calms you down.
Experiencing the first time that you experience it, you can feel, well, at least for me, I mean, I don't know if it's because I've been doing it for so long now, only 3 years, but I think I've gotten better at it, and I've gotten a better sense of how it makes me feel when I do it. And I suppose that if you're doing it for the first time, you might not be sure what to expect, but can you describe a little bit about what to expect?
I think first thing that happens is your mind calms down. Okay. So when your mind calms down, actually your emotions are more under control. I think that's the way to put it, because with good emotional health, you have good mental health, and then you also have good physical health. So it is the emotional health that you are targeting with meditation, and with how do you get to be emotionally healthy? It is by consuming the right amount of emotional food. What are you consuming is what you become, right? I mean,
you're consuming a lot of negative things.
So exactly. So what happens? Nowadays, there is a lot of people and situations that compete for your time. Okay, you have been given 24 hours. Everybody is given 24 hours. Whether you're rich or you're poor, you're a billionaire, everybody gets 24 hours a day, right? But what had happened is, in the past, our previous generations, not many people competed for those 24 hours. You had your family, you had a job, life was simple, right? Now there's so much of competition for your time. On the TV, somebody will say, "Oh, you have to drive my car, you have to wear my clothes, you have to, the all the way things work out, all the social media, which is good and bad. I mean, so you have to decide what are you going to consume. So it's like a buffet. There's a big buffet table, lot of food is laid out. There's junk food, there's good food, there's very good food, there's extremely healthy food, there's tasty food. Now you decide what you're going to eat, right? So that is what I was talking about. The emotional consumption that you're doing.
The emotional
Yeah.
consumption.
What are you consuming emotionally? What food are
You
you
know,
eating?
some people might say though, but Kiran, I have a job and I don't love my job, but I have to do it. And there's
Yeah,
people there that I
I
interact
went through
with and
that.
they
I
don't
went
have a
through
reason.
that. Yeah.
How do I, is breathing really the answer to my,
It's the start.
is it?
It's the start of the answer. The proper breathing allows you to fake it till you make it. Because think about it, right? Uh, when you're tensed, when you're tensed up, how do you breathe? You breathe shallow and rapid. Like you do that. Like it doesn't even go down. It just goes. And versus nice. Goes deep in and then
Yeah.
you know
And not only does it oxygenate your brain, but it oxygenates. Am I saying that right?
oxygenation. Yeah.
Oxygenates,
No.
oxygenates your body, your organs.
Everything, right? I mean, it goes to your
Everything starts to function.
yeah. Everything is more oxygenated, more
Yeah.
clear. And then what happens is immediately your thoughts slow down. Okay, so that's what you want, right? When you do a deep breathing, automatically you will calm down. See, it's the reverse, right? Your emotion influences your breathing, but your breathing can also influence your emotions. Okay, so that is the key of meditation: is the recognition of the fact that your breathing can influence your emotions, and when you calm down, when your thoughts are coming at a slower pace, then you can decide, okay, you can't even follow your thoughts sometimes. Thoughts are racing by so fast that you are not even aware of what you're thinking. You are in a daze. When thoughts come out so fast, you are like just blanked out. So it allows you to at least keep track of your thoughts. So that's what it will
So
do.
if you're somebody who wants to start meditating, the goal is not that lotus, whatever it is, image that you may have in your head or whatever pre-assumption you may have. It's just as simple as connecting with your breath first. Just start with
Yes.
doing some
Yes.
work. And the other thing, this podcast is about it's about ADHD and a bunch of other things. And the thing that I've learned, because I'm training to become an ADHD coach.
Yeah.
And the key to for people who have ADHD is emotional regulation,
Yes.
right? And
Emotional
a lot of
diet
us
you take in.
suffer from dysregulation. And the best way to get yourself emotionally regulated is by starting with that
Yes.
breath. And what happens with people who have ADHD is that that prefrontal cortex part of our brain, that part that helps the executive function, helps you make decisions, helps you manage when it helps you think right clearly. So if something occurs that might make you upset, if you're being chased by someone wielding a gun or a knife or whatever, that part of your brain starts to doesn't know what to do, and it can panic or it can do a number of different things, right? And the key to getting that part of your brain to focus is that breath.
Yeah. So what happens is, as we have gotten more intelligent, as our prefrontal cortex has grown bigger, it solved a lot of problems, but it has also created problems. So very typically, the more intelligent people have more emotional issues. That is, it's well known. So the it it is more important now than ever before to be able to rein in this intelligence, if you may call it, and that is why more important to do meditation now than ever before. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, uh, I tell people the story of how I came to meditation. I mean, after having tried it and failed it many times, um, it was really during the pandemic. And there was just, for better or for worse, there was just a lot of time of isolation. And that gave people like me the opportunity to slow down and really get a sense of what makes me happy, what's not making me happy. Why am I not happy? Or, where it really pushed me in that direction. And I started to explore more podcasts. I think more people started listening to podcasts during the pandemic. Um, and I started listening to podcasts about things on tapping. I learned about tapping and how that helps to, bring you back to the present and different things like that. I started with little 15-minute podcasts on breathing, and 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 I was listening to one in particular, which I still listen to. But I would do it when I was doing the dishes. I wasn't necessarily sitting in a lotus position because I was like, I don't have time for that. At the time,
so
I'm
that
too busy
yeah,
doing what I can't do that. I would do it doing the dishes. I would do it on my driving, picking up my kids from here to there. But then little by little, I decided, you know what, this is so effective that I think I do want to take that time. And it was also because of the stuff I was listening to that was like, it's okay. You should take that time. It's important for you to take that time for yourself, to give to yourself.
and after some time you are able to meditate in the background. So while you're doing other things, okay, so you don't have to sit in one place. You don't need a quiet environment. You can
Which is
meditate. Yeah, I
nice.
mean, yeah, initially.
It's a luxury.
Yeah.
So for some people, it
Yes, it
is
is. It is absolutely. But
to
it
go
is,
to
it
a
is
nice
not
quiet
essential.
place.
It is a
No.
nice to have. Okay, but
Yes.
you can be meditating in a crowded place. Because meditation is a state of mind. Okay, it's not like you need an environment. Okay, and the, you talked about happiness, right? I just had a thought, and I was holding it. So you don't do things to make you happy. That is a thing. Okay, if I do this, then I'll be happy. If I achieve this, it doesn't work like that. Happiness doesn't work that way. It's the other way around. You are happy. That is why you do these things. You know. So the happiness comes first. It's not like yeah. So nothing can really make you happy. It all comes from inside, and the way you get happiness is to connect to your roots. You know, try to understand who you really are. What is really important to you in your innermost being, and that is what we have to try to do. And then meditation helps you doing that. Yeah.
So this is this is Shadow.
Oh, Shadow.
Shadow's a little bear. He's a Scottish.
No, he is a mini schnauzer.
He's a mini schnauzer. You should see how handsome he looks when he gets a little shaved down. But right now he's a bear for winter.
He's a bear cub, yeah.
He's a bear cub. He's so sweet.
Yeah, he loves to be better.
Shadow is the mayor of this neighborhood.
Actually, Lucy and Shadow are the reason why we became friends. Yeah, if you remember, we were on a walk one day with our respective dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. And dogs have a way of getting people talking. Yeah. And I have enjoyed talking with you, Kiran. And I hope that you will be back and we can have more great conversations about lots of different things. and certainly breathing and meditation and all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's wait for the feedback, and based on that, we can decide what to talk about.